Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCalSabre, and welcome to another Saturday afternoon or morning or whenever you're watching this one. Spinning 52, the sounds of the vinyl albums and music CDs that I listened to this week. Yeah, this is number 52. Moving right along here. Before we get started, please go down there and hit that like button. And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel and help us grow some more. Put some comments down there. Do you like any of the, do you have any of the albums that I'm about to show you? If you do, well, let me know. Let me know what you've been listening to this week. And also, don't forget to go check out that special I did on the box set this week. All right, so the first one we listened to this week was the 1982 debut solo album by Rick Ocasek. And Rick was the lead singer and the principal songwriter for the Cars also, which was still in existence at the time he released this one. This pronounced Beat Etude, which beat attitudes. The album peaked at number 28 on the Billboard's Top 100s in the spring of '83. Sounds a lot like the Cars. So if you like the Cars, I'm sure that you're probably going to like this one. This was my first addition into my collection by Rick Ocasek. Happy to have it. Glad I was able to pick it up on Whatnot at a good price. We have an inner, got the lyrics and some credits on it. And then we got a picture of Rick over on this side. Show you it was in pretty good shape on Geffen Records. Trying to show you how good the quality of the album was. No scratches, no scuffs. I'm always going to look again before when I tell you that, in case something shows up on the camera. No, this one's in real good shape. So that was Beatitudes by Rick Ocasek, his solo debut album from 1982. Did you like that one? Do you like the Cars? I do. I've got several things in my collection with the Cars. The next one is it's from Steely Dan, and it's one of the two that I've had on my want list, but sometimes they're a little bit costly. And this is their 1980 album, The Royal Scam. This was their fifth studio album by the American rock band Steely Dan, released in May of '76 by ABC Records. And reissues have been released by MCA due to ABC's acquisition by the former in '79. The album peaked in the United States at number 15 on the Billboard's top LPs and tape chart. Really, really good. I got a little bit of a scare on this one. I picked this up on Whatnot. As you can see, the cover's in very good condition for being this old. But the scare I got was, so I had to put it through a deep clean, spin clean. This is the inner here, some advertisements. And I put it settled down to listen to it. And in the very first song, it had a horrific skipping, boom, boom. I jumped up and took it over. So I took it back in the other room, and I didn't do a deep clean on it, but I used the groove washer, the way I normally do it. Give it a good groove washing on both sides. Put it back on the turntable, and it played just fine. So whatever was on there, I don't know, because I did not see it, because I always look at the albums before I put them on there. You know, and this is side one. I'm looking at side one again. Boy, and there's nothing on there. Pretty strange, pretty strange. Side two, nothing on there. It looks really, really good. So that was the first time that's ever happened to me, that something was on there that I could not see. And it really made a jump. It scared me. I jumped up and went damage to my needle and stuff like that. And I'm very happy that after another using the groove washer, it cleaned up very, very nicely. And it's in my collection. That's The Royal Scam, the 1980 album by Steely Dan. So I've got the week off to a good start. Got a little bit of a scare, but I got a good start in there. And the next one I'm going to, there was on my want list, but for a while it was pretty costly. And then a reissue came out, and I was able to pick it up at a decent price, I think on Amazon. Okay, this is the 2019 reissue of the 1972 release, the sixth studio album by the English rock band Deep Purple. This time, the Deep Purple wanted to dedicate time to record an album away from the typical studio environment, hoping it would result into a sound closer to their live shows. They used the Rolling Stones mobile studio for recording and booked the Montreux Casino as a venue. But as a lot of people know, prior to that session, during a Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention concert, immediately before the recording sessions, the casino burned to the ground after an audience member fired a flare gun into the ceiling. Thus, we have Smoke on the Water. That's where it came from because of that. It's a really good album. I'm happy to have it in my collection. It is a gatefold. Let's see what we got here. What am I showing you? And in the back. Have a nice inner with it, a Deep Purple inner. This is pretty cool. This is the inner here, but it folds out into complete lyrics. And this one was, let's see what I got here. This was released by Warner Brothers Records, and their green album, or green label. And of course, you'll see the album is in good shape. That's what you expect when you buy something brand new. Doesn't always happen that way, because sometimes these albums, if they come in, this one did, and this comes in a polyline sleeve, which I'm always happy about. But if they come just in the paper sleeves, sometimes because of packing and shipping and that, there's actual scuffing on the albums already when you first get them. This is in good shape. Polyline probably helped save the day for that one. So that was a Machine Head by Deep Purple, a 2019 reissue of their 1972 album, Rockin' the House there. So the next one I got this one on Whatnot. I didn't know what to expect because I only have one thing by this gentleman in my collection, even though I like him. And this one was the 1972 album, Carney by Leon Russell, his third solo studio album. Peaked at number 2 on the Billboard's Hot 200. It was the first for Russell to contain a hit single, Tightrope, which reached number 11 on the Billboard's Hot 100. Side 1 of the record profiles is Roots of Rock, and side 2 features psychedelic music, considered a surrealistic examination of Russell's newfound fame. It was inspired by the musician's personal downsides in being a celebrated live performer. It's really good. As soon as the Tightrope played, I recognized it right off the bat, and there's no inner with this one. And so this is the second one I think I have by Leon Russell in my collection. Happy to have it. And that comes on got the album and his name on the label. The purple album. Purple on that side. Green label on that side. So there we are with Carney by Leon Russell from 1972, in very good shape for a, 72, that's 52-year-old album. That's pretty cool. This is not a reissue. All right, so now is that time of the week where we get to pull some CDs. Well, speaking of CDs, I got some really hot stuff that came in this week, but we're not going to get to see it. I haven't played it yet. All right, so the first one we're doing is the 1989 album by Aerosmith, Pump. This was their 10th studio album by the American rock band. The album peaked at number 5 on the U.S. charts, and the album contains the hit singles Lovin' an Elevator, The Other Side, What It Takes, and Janie's Got a Gun, which all entered the top 40 of the Hot 100. It's been certified sales of 7 million copies in the U.S. to date, and is tied with its successor, Get a Grip, as Aerosmith's second best-selling studio album in the U.S., following Toys in the Attic, which is their number 1. Yeah, this one was rocking. I was rocking with this one here. Let's see, I'll get it open here for you. This one is a little bit difficult for me to open for some reason. I think I got something in. I put this thing in upside down, probably. All right, let's get it out. Stop fighting it, Bill. Here you go. Got a little booklet with Pump. And this is one that's going to open up like this. We got credits, tune side. It's not too big. It's only 3 pages. And it comes on a nice purple and black CD. Again, 1989. Seems like I bought a lot of CDs in 1989. Whoops. Get Pump up here. So I imagine I must have been in the time period where I'd gone away from albums. I don't particularly remember going away from albums, but I guess I did. So that was Pump, the 1989 album by Aerosmith, their second most selling album. Then I went on to another 1989 album, and this time called The Miracle by Queen. This was the 13th studio album by the British rock band. The album was recorded as the band recovered from Brian May's marital problems and Freddie Mercury's HIV diagnosis in 1987, which was not publicized to the public at that time. The band knew about it, but the public did not know about it. I think one of the strange things was, I won't say the strange. All right. This was also the last Queen album with a photo of the band on the front cover. The album reached number 1 in the UK, Austria, Germany, the Netherlands, and Switzerland. Number 24 in the US Billboard's top pop album charts. A little sad trivia. Everybody knows that knows music that Freddie passed away in 1992. But what I didn't remember, folks, was 1991, maybe it was. Anyway, he announced it to the public that he had AIDS, HIV, and he died the very next day, from what I've read. That's kind of crazy. What a great voice. What a great voice. Sure, him and Amy Winehouse are making great duets in the afterlife. And Janis Joplin joining them too. Hendrix. What a club up there, huh? There. So this was The Miracle by Queen, their 1998 13th studio album. See if I can remember any of these Let me take a second here and see if I can bring up these. If I can remember any of the. Oh yeah, I Want It All. That was a big hit for them. I Want It All. I remember now. Rain Must Fall. I like. Was It All Worth It? But I Want It All. Big hit. I really like that song on this off of this album. So that was The Miracle by the 1989 by Queen. So then we get down to the last of the week is always an album coming out of the collection that's been in there. We're going down, doing it in order of the numbers, and this is number 41. This is a 1976 album by SoCalSabre, Endless Flight. I've already labeled this as needing an upgrade because it's pretty scratchy, popping on side one. I actually took it right off and I put it through another cleaning, but it's still the same. Side two played really good, so I decided I needed if I do anything with this one, I won't be playing it again, but I will list it as needing an upgrade in my little database that I keep on what I'm looking for. This was the fourth album by the English singer-songwriter, and the album consolidated his international popularity, reaching number 4 in the UK, number 10 in the US, and it also charted strongly in other countries. The peak of his career came in '77 when he scored 2 consecutive US number 1 hits, first with the disco-styled You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. It's pretty cool. It makes you really feel good. And in the winner of the year's Grammy for the best rhythm and blues song, and followed by When I Need You, which was reached number 1 in both the UK and the US. 2 really good songs. This is not the only thing I have in my collection from SoCalSabre. Off the top of my head, I don't know how many that I have, but I was going through a time in the 70s when this was coming out, 76, let's see. I had just left Korea for the second time. I was at Selfridge Air National Guard Base in Michigan, and I kind of liked SoCalSabre's music, I think because of the lyrics, mostly. Got a strange sort of this picture of Leo there, pretty young looking man at that time. This is the inner from this album. And the album came on the Warner Brothers Records. You can see, you can't see nothing on here, but there's a lot of quite a few lines on this one. I did a second watch, especially over in this area right here. There's quite a few lines. And then on the second side, must not have got as played as much because it looks pretty good. So that was the end of the week where I finished up with Endless Flight, a 1976 album by SoCalSabre. Well, that was a good week. I got some good music in. Don't forget to check out that special I did on the box set. I want to thank you for coming by. SoCalSabre saying take care of yourself out there. Be kind to each other and stay safe.